Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics are 221 days away, and the Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation, the JBSF, is stepping up its preparations for the Games. Now, while the JBSF has undertaken an athlete recruitment drive to boost the country's presence in the sport, they have organized also a slate of activities in anticipation of the upcoming Italy-hosted Games, slated for the 6th to the 22nd of February next year. One such initiative has seen five-time Olympic medalist American Ilana Mears-Taylor teaming up with the organization in the role of mentor to guide the likes of 2024 Youth Olympian pilot Adana Johnson, among others, in their development. Now, both Ilana and Adana have joined us in studio to reveal more. Let me welcome Ilana first by asking, how did they interest you in this role?
Well, my grandfather's Jamaican.
Oh, he is?
So it was a natural tie-in. This team means a lot to me, even though I compete for the U.S. It's very important to me not only to see the sport grow, but to see it grow particularly in Jamaica.
Yeah. And Adana, what brought you into the sport initially?
Well, initially I used to be a gymnast, and Dr. Stokes, the president, he was looking to grow the sport, and he went to my old gymnastics gym and was asking if anyone wanted to join or try out, and I was interested, and that's how I started.
Yeah. Ilana, is there something about gymnastics physiologically that makes it a good transition to bobsleigh and these winter sports?
Well, believe it or not, driving a bobsled is so technical, and you're on such thin margins, like you really have to know what you're doing, or else something really catastrophic could happen. Gymnastics is the same.
Yes.
Like, you're used to flipping in the air, moving your body through space. Like, the skills Adana has gained through gymnastics will lend very heavily into driving a bobsled.
Yeah. And as you talk about, preparing for a career in the sport, your history does suggest that from you were pretty young, 9 years old, I think, you had an interest in becoming an Olympian, but it wasn't in bobsleigh, was it?
No, and that's what makes bobsled so great, is it's a sport you can transition into from another sport. I grew up playing softball, and obviously we have a lot of track and field athletes, gymnastics, you name it, soccer, football. We have a lot of different athletes that come into bobsled and are very successful. So that's why it's so important that we recruit young, talented Jamaican athletes into the sport and get them ready for the not only 2026 games, but we got 2034 games in Salt Lake City that'll be really big for the sport.
Yeah, and I'll ask you this one, Adana. How has the switch been for you? How has the transition been into bobsleigh?
Well, it's very different, I would say. I mean, going from gymnastics to a sport of bobsled, many bobsleigh, they normally would transition from tracks, and they know how to, they normally have speed and so, but me coming from gymnastics, it's been different. I'm now having to learn how to run and gain more speed in order to have a big push start and stuff like that.
But are you having fun doing this sport?
Yes, definitely.
What's the best part of doing it?
For me, the best part is getting to go on different tracks, learning different ice, and just the feeling that it gives you, because it's really an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But
when we're in the Caribbean, because I can't take the cold, right? Like, it's something, sometimes if the AC is too cold in the studio, I'm like, oh my God, we need to turn it down. How has that been for you? Just like, getting accustomed to the cold and all of that.
Yeah, that's been a challenge also. But I mean, there are times when we're there for months. So over time, we get used to it.
Yeah. How do you find the recruitment process has been? Do you feel like Jamaicans are warming up to the idea of taking part in this particular sport?
I think it offers a great opportunity to everybody, and that's why I love bobsled, is because you can come from any background and be successful in the sport. You can come from anywhere in the world, including Jamaica, and be successful. Like, I think as more and more people find out about the sport, And less people think we're absolutely crazy, more people will fall in love with it. And that's really what hopefully this Olympic shows, is because the biggest push will be for those 2034 games and winning medals. Like, we're talking about Jamaica can legitimately win medals in 2034. And so we need the great athletes behind us to be able to do it. So it's just about getting athletes in the sport and seeing it as a medal sport for this country of Jamaica.
Yeah, the only thing, though, that I would say can act as a deterrent, because one of the first things people want to know is, is it an expensive sport, to take part? With a minor sport as well, a lot of athletes have to really fund themselves. They sometimes work another job and then try to do this sport. So, do you feel like you've been getting pushback because of those reasons? And also, I mean, I don't know if you would know this, but, if sponsors are willing to come on board and all of that.
Well, I think the good news is you guys have my former coach who led me to a silver medal in 2014. Todd Hayes is now the coach. So if anybody could help turn this program around, along with Chris Stokes, it's going to be those two.
Yeah.
And it's really going to be at a position where you're not going to have to worry as much about exactly how much you're taking out of your pocket to come into the sport. You're going to be able to come into the sport, have a great experience, go to the Olympics, and hopefully win a medal as well. So the sport is evolving in this country, and the most important thing is that people know that
Yes.
the sport's being taken to a next level, that it's not going to be any longer where you're living out of a car eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like,
No.
those days are over.
Okay.
You just mentioned Chris Stokes just now, who is a very passionate leader of the association in Jamaica. How much credit would you give him to the kind of traction and momentum that the sport is gaining here in the country?
Oh, he is working really hard. He talked to me about coming to slide for Jamaica. Kind of partial. If the circumstances were different, of course I would do it. I love this place. But he is working his tail off to make sure Jamaica is well represented in every aspect of the sport, and maybe even skeleton as well. He's huge, and he's actually one of the people who got me on board, working with Adana, working with the rest of the team, and I'm super excited to be able to have any part of this possible.
Yeah, and I know even as we speak, he's busy trying to get more track athletes involved, because it seems to be such a seamless transition. I know from the American circuit, people like Lola Jones and Lauren Williams, who were outstanding track stars, have had success in the bobsled there as well.
Yep. And in the U.S., we feed off of track stars, and you're seeing it more and more around the world. Austria now has a track athlete from Jamaica now pushing them as well. So you see it from other countries. There's no reason why it can't be done here, and you've got more high-quality track athletes here than any
Yeah.
place in the world.
Speed.
There's no reason Jamaica can't be on the podium. It's just now the country has to believe it, and it can happen.
Yeah, and of course, even though this happened way back in 1988, I think the Cool Runnings experience still, resonates with a lot of Jamaican people, and well, not only in Jamaica but outside of Jamaica. People look at the Cool Runnings movie and the trajectory of those youngsters grabbing world attention with their debut effort at the Calgary Games, I think it was, and it can be used as a source of inspiration, I'm sure, for people who are budding bobsled competitors.
I mean, we use it to recruit in the U.S.
Oh, you do?
So
The Cool Runnings movie.
The Cool Runnings movie. The top two questions I get asked whenever I tell somebody I'm a bobsled is, first, how did I get into the sport?
Yes.
Second, do I know the Jamaican bobsled team? Like, still to this day, everybody asks about Cool Runnings.
Yeah. And can you talk to us quickly about the kind of training required? Because Adana just mentioned that she will spend months at a time overseas in these icy conditions getting themselves ready. This obviously is a necessary trajectory to get to world levels.
Exactly. You have to learn how to push a bobsled.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you have to come in with the athleticism, but then anybody can teach you how to push a bobsled. Like, we've got great coaches in Jamaica that can teach you how to push a bobsled.
Yes.
The long time overseas is actually navigating your way down the tracks, getting used to sliding. Now, fortunately, you've got great pilots like Adana, like Shane Padir, and they're really working hard in the front seat. Now, of course, we need to convert more athletes into pilots and do that, but that's the bulk of the season overseas, is when you're really working on that driving skill and things like that.
Yeah, and Adana, as the pilot, I know you do a little bit of running first before you jump into the sled. How difficult was that for you to perfect?
Well, the pushing, it's definitely, because for women we do mono and two women, so we push from both the back and from the side.
Yes.
So pushing from the back, it's very different to learn how the technique into running and jumping in. But also from the side, you also have to worry about jumping in over the side
Yes.
to go in, and you're also worrying about someone in the back.
Okay,
Yeah.
because the balance of the sled is very important.
Yeah.
And Ilana just mentioned that, you know, if you make errors, they can be sort of, tragic may be a strong word, but catastrophic from the standpoint that you may not be able to complete the run. So is it scary, or did you find it scary when you just started?
Definitely. It was definitely scary for me at the start, but the more runs you take, it lessens up
Yes.
fear.
And you did mention a few minutes ago that it gives you an adrenaline rush.
Yes.
And that
Wow.
still obtains up to this point.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way, Lana, about the adrenaline rush?
I don't think it ever goes away.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
real?
there's no feeling like being at a starting line at a Winter Olympics, feeling the cold air on you. I don't like the cold either.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but feeling the cold air on you and getting ready to go and knowing like you're about to go 75 to 100 miles per hour down this ice track.
Yes.
And something bad could happen, but also you can win a gold medal. Like, it is the coolest feeling I could ever think of doing.
Well,
it's
cool
so
is
much fun.
cool is right.
Yeah.
but where in the U.S. did you grow up?
Georgia. I
In
did
Georgia?
not grow up in a winter place at all. No,
it's
no.
not. Okay. Yeah, Georgia is not as bad as other places are. Yeah. All right, well, Ilana, thanks for stopping by. You've been in Jamaica now 4 or 5 days, and you still have almost a week left here. We wish you a good stay, and we hope that it means something to not only the local association, but to you, trying to mentor and to give a push to the bobsled and the growth of the sport in the country. And Adana, great to see you being a part of the process now, and I hope that you improve quickly, and the Olympics will be on your slate.
And you can have your own
Thank
movie,
you.
your own version of Cool Running. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
break time. Back with more of The Zone after this.